ATL. I am Chyna Marie, media personality and producer, and right now I am sitting here with the beautiful, lovely CEO and founder Natasha Hall.
Yes.
Of my network apparel.
Yeah, let's get it. Girl, I'm excited to be here.
Yes,
literally.
How are
you? Thank you.
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me here. So let's go ahead and hop into this thing, okay?
Yes.
So tell me, what is about this like networking and marketing? How did you come about this?
Okay, so yeah, it's been a long time. So 2008. My brother is actually a DJ. Shouts out to DJ 03, my brother. Okay. So we're 5 years apart, and so he was leaving college when I was entering college, and so he's a DJ. He's like, I want to start this music group. We're gonna do party promotions. We're gonna do entertainment. We're gonna do events. We're gonna do all this stuff, and I need you to come in and do admin work because I was working in human resources at the time. So he's like, you good on the computer? Let me bring you in. So I go and meet with all the fellas. I am the only female at the time. I coined female in charge. I'm the FIC. That's what people knew me by in college. Hated it, okay? But anyway, so I started party promotion. So we all have a nightlife story, I'm sure. But I started promoting parties. That's when Facebook was kind of expanding. This is, the latter part of 08, 09. All right, now the locals can be on. So now I'm just like bridging the gap between Columbus State University and the locals. So I started doing basically mastering what marketing and networking I did for the community. I was doing it on campus. They allowed me to have my own campus organization, which was called Student Promoters. So we would promote the students. So whatever event they was having, we would put it on. This also gave access to the radio station. I was working with 98.3 to beat at the time, where we could have meet and greets. Because this was popping when, artists would come to the school and, you know what I'm saying, we could do stuff like that. I didn't have everybody at that school. Literally, whoever was coming to town, we had it, okay?
So you were the plug.
I was the plug. Okay. I was the party. I was everything the school didn't know they needed. That was basically what I did. So I had an event called Coming Up Next. And basically, I would bring local artists to campus because what I taught in artist development, I worked in artist development real short because, baby, I'm not an A&R. Music is not for me. That is not my calling, okay? But what I taught them was tapping into local colleges gives you access to more cities. Because once they go back home, they're listening to your music, and now those people in their hometown is like, what's that song? What you got? Now you're, duplicating yourself. You're 10 timings yourself, and you don't have to necessarily do it. So I'm like, come to campus. We got access. Most of the people here are from Atlanta anyway. They're going to go back home. They're going to talk about your music. So I used to have this event. So that happened. It was successful. I would have A&R reps come down. Shouts out to Will and from Warner Brothers and Amir. He's with Interscope. So they used to come and, they used to grade them and tell them, okay, you need to work on this and that and the third. So they was lit. They was excited. Like, we get to not only expose ourselves to A&R, we get to expose ourselves to, campus, to these students. Now we on the radio. So I did, TRC Tuesdays. So I would get on the radio and I would bring artists and give them their first time of ever being on the radio so they can get registered. I was talking to them about, make sure you're, registered with Nielsen. Make sure you got all your stuff together before you come on board. We would do a video interview. Then we would sit there and do, a radio interview. So I would have my little say, it's TRC Tuesdays at 8:30. And so I was just into I was automatically into my passion. I didn't ask for those opportunities. They just came. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it, so I'm doing it. So then I started having these things called business and industry networking mixers, networking events. And so this started in 2011. So I reached out to a black-owned coffee shop locally to Columbus, Georgia. And then we used to have the artists come and meet with the city council. So I had the mayor come. She was recently, voted into being mayor. She came, she spoke, she talked about the things that she was going to help with the music industry in Columbus. So I was literally continuously bridging gaps. And this was not even something I was intentionally doing it. I was doing it because I had access to it. And so I'm like, oh yeah, let me get the mayor. Let me call so-and-so. I'm just plugging people together. So, funny thing is just fast forwarding to all of that and then coming into my clarity post maternity leave, it's networking and marketing. I've been doing this. It's my thing. It's innate for me.
That is so what's up. So a lot of times we kind of run from our calling, because it's not what we idolized it to be, or we thought it was going to be. So we kind of run from it. So when did you decide that entrepreneurship was the thing for you? And when did you realize that the network and that the industry had a need for marketing and like connecting people?
That's a good question. I feel like I've always been in tune with who I am. You know, I've never been in a situation where I was like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I think, the pandemic happened. I ended up moving home for like a year because I needed to reset the room. I was, so I'm like, all right, I'm going home. The pandemic ain't but for a few months. I'm just gonna hang out with my folks. I needed help with my son. We just gonna chill out. Okay, that pandemic did not do what it was supposed to do, right? But delayed, but not denied. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of opportunities came to me, and I was like, you know what? I want to focus on branding. Because when I was in human resources, I realized I wanted to be a recruiter. My dream job was to be a recruiter, to recruit people, help them feed their homes. I'm like, if I can get a person a job, man, you know how many homes I'm feeding by giving people a job? So I stepped into recruiting. As soon as I moved to Atlanta, I was supposed to be in Atlanta. Like, I moved here, I got my dream job in 2 weeks. Nobody can ever tell you that story about moving to Atlanta. Like, it took me 2 weeks to be unemployed. I applied when I got here, got the job, hired me same day. Should have known it was gonna be some shit. But I was able to step into that opportunity. So with that being said, I just kind of like, dang, I lost my thought. What was I gonna tell you?
It's okay. You were.
Okay. The question was.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. The question was to make sure.
Yeah, no, the question was just telling me when you tapped into entrepreneurship.
Got you.
And, you know, connecting, you know, the industry with marketing, and, you know, when did you realize there was a need for it?
Right. So when the pandemic happened, I wanted to focus on branding because what I've learned in my process is that I am always at the part where people have to be developed in order to work with me. And what I realized that a lot of people weren't developed enough to even work with me. So I wanted to always take a step back. So I'm like, okay, wait. You need this for real. Let me get you here and then we can get here. So I guess I settled with imposter syndrome, where I talked myself out of being good at marketing, because I'm like, no, I need to focus on branding. I don't even have enough knowledge to be like, oh, I'm trying to build up these people's brands, right? And so I took myself off the market. Like the entire pandemic, I was literally learning. I was taking classes. I am like, you know, on YouTube, I'm listening to podcasts. I even took a job opportunity in marketing just to learn it, like just to flourish in growth marketing. How do I scale people? How do I scale myself? So I just, you know, I have done that. And so now we're here. Like, I'm ready. I'm like, girl, this has been your thing forever. So, you know, how did you tap out? And so just trying to stay, you know, moving forward.
So you kind of touched on this a little bit with a few of the challenges that you had, you know, coming into this.
Yes.
But can you talk to us a little bit about some of those struggles, like the specifics in those struggles, and, you know, before you came up with the solution, what did that look like for you?
Woo, all right. So, challenges, and I can do two-part networking and then marketing, right? And so, challenges with networking is that when you see more for yourself and you know you can't do it by yourself. And so it's like, dang, I keep hitting this same ceiling over and over and over again, and not even realizing that the growth comes with people. And so tapping into your tribe and your support, and just knowing that the access to others is what, like, we're put here to connect, right? And so with that being said, we're not connecting. So we're not growing. So it's like, okay, I'm sitting in the house doing, it's like, you know, I look at artists, just speaking about music, right? They sit in the studio, they make all these songs and nobody ever hear them. And then they like, man, I'm gonna take off one day. And then they post it on Facebook and nobody wanna hear it. But it's like, you're not connected to people to help you expand. Like, nobody's validating it, because we feel like, you know, we want our own self-validation, which is fine, but you gotta take it to the next level. You gotta have some validity into it so people can buy into it, right? So with that in myself and networking, it was like, I don't know enough people. In order for me to grow, I don't know enough people. So I had to go know enough people. And so, like I said, I got into marketing because my brother called me and was like, there's a need for you. That calling was already placed on him for me. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, had it not been for his relationships, I wouldn't be where I am. So it's always about just being tapped in, being in the right place at the right time. And then also not being afraid to tell people what you do. Cause like, hey, he not thought of me like, well, my sister do work. You know what I'm saying? She be on the computer. Let's call her up. Let's use her. So him utilizing me gave me the wings that, the wind beneath my wings that I didn't know that I needed. When in turn, it would look like it was for him, but it was truly for me.
That is very, very, very important. I recently joined an organization, and one of the assets that I told them I could bring to them, and it wasn't even what the main organization was about. I told them, I was like, Chyna is the plug.
Right.
Like, Chyna has an answer for everything. And if I can't get you, if I don't know the answer, I can get you to somebody who has the answer.
Right.
And connecting people and bridging those gaps, that's very important.
Yeah, it's powerful. A lot of people don't have it.
So that's good that your brother connections help you, It's full circle.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. So talk to us about being an Ideanaire. What is it? Where did it come from? What does this mean? Like, for those who don't know. Tell us about it.
So crazy story was that I was going through a rebrand. So a lot of people don't know I'm the queen of intellectual property. I'm gonna own my shit, right? So I got the bread aisle as a trademark in regards to marketing, because we refer the bread aisle, like getting to the bread aisle, there's so many ideas, so many pieces, so many breads. And, you just have to figure out how to make yourself stand out, or like, why not start your business when there are so many packs of bread? Like, get in there, like get in where you fit in, you bottom shelf or top, which one is it? That's what you should be focused on, you know what I'm saying? So I coined that. So in the process of that, I was rolling out a lot of workshops. I was doing a lot of workshops online. This is during the pandemic for the bread aisle. And I lost my Instagram page. So Instagram snatched my page, and I'm like, what am I about to do? So I'm like, fuck it. I'm not doing it no more. I'm over social media. If they could control my content at that point where I didn't even do anything. That's the crazy part, right? So I'm having to send in all this documentation to like prove to them that this is my stuff, when baby, I'm the one posting this every day. I worked hard for years to build out the investments of social media, right? So I'm like, I'm going to put my content on my own website. I host my own website. I'm going to have to figure out how to drive traffic to my website. I'm going to have to just like, do my own thing. So they, my homegirl's like, nah, you're going to have to come back to social media. You got this, the bread aisle is dropping. I was dropping my business. How you going to get people on it? Like, you didn't put in so much work, so much money. You're going to have to fight for it and get it back. So how you coming back? So I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with social media, right? So I'm like, well, I can't come back Natasha Hall. Like, that ain't snapping hard enough. So like, I'm going to have to figure out how I want to come back to where people can understand the power of my mind. I understand I'm beautiful. I get that. But like, how can people truly tap into what I can bring to the table? So I'm thinking. I'm researching. I'm like, man, what is this brand name going to be? It need to be simple. It needs to be one word. It's like, how can I 10 times myself when I come up with this thing that other people will call themselves this? So I am like full of ideas. I can literally, you tell me what you're doing, I can come up with 10, right? And so I'm like, Ideanaire, like I am full of $1 million ideas. Like if you tap in with me, I can give it to you. It doesn't matter if it's about cereal, hair, Clorox, I can come up with it, right? And so the Ideanaire was born, and this is my light bulb with my money sign. Like,
I love it.
My ideas is just like brights up rooms. Like I haven't failed yet. So yeah, Ideanaire. That's where we at.
Amazing. And again, if you all are just now tapping in with us, I'm Chyna Marie sitting here with Natasha Hall, CEO and founder of My Networking Apparel, and that's an amazing like concept. I like it, and even the logo. That's the logo.
Yes,
it makes sense. Money, idea. I love it. I see what you did there, girl.
You see what I did there?
I see what you did there. So talk to us about the most challenging thing about being a natural visionary. Like,
woo!
I know it's challenging.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean,
let's talk about it.
Yeah. I'm an overthinker. I'm a worrier. I'm analytical. I am all the woes that you can think of, but I'm also a risk taker, right? And to have all of those things kind of try to be roadblocks to you leaping off the mountain, right? Like I do a lot of cliff jumping every morning I wake up with anxiety every day because it has to work. Something got to work, like something got to shake, right? And so things happen naturally, and it's just I have had to tap into. So this year I got a therapist. I have a dream coach that helps me cultivate my dreams. I have a PR. Shouts out to Britt Miller. I have, I've been focused on spiritual grounding, because what we don't think about in entrepreneurship is that we have to believe in something, right? Because there is no way, like, everything that we do is beyond us. We can't see what's next. So if we're not tapped in, it doesn't matter what God you worship, right? I know who I'm tapped into and how I continue to grow where I'm at, right? But everybody has to believe in something. So what do you believe in? What gets you to your next level? And so saying all of that to say, I've just been on a personal journey this year to, like, I can't grow until I've grown. So I am like, my businesses are waiting on me. That's something
right there.
Yeah, my businesses are waiting on me. I got it. The $1 million waiting on me. So am I ready to accept it? And, like, what am I going to do with it when I get it? And God knows that he could have been gave it to me, but we was going to be balling out of control. We was going to be doing everything.
Ready, you prepared.
I wasn't going to do what he was calling me to do. You know what I'm saying? So with time, I know, right? And so just being a visionary, it causes a lot of, I had to build the tribe I needed. So I created Friendsgiving last year. We had our second annual this year, which was bomb as fuck, but it was an opportunity for me to bring my friends into who I am, and then this year was a time for my friends to bring me into who they are. So it was more so like, do you really know me enough to be able to support me? Because where I'm going, y'all got to come with me. I can't do this by myself. The top is lonely to those that want to be lonely. I don't have to choose that life, right? Like, I'm a disruptor. So, like, we got to do something different. So I am creating my tribe. I'm telling my tribe what I need. And this goes to my parents, my family, like, having to talk to them when I'm making a move and they're like, why would you do that? And I'm like, if you can't tell me you happy for me, we're going to have to get off the phone. Like, I need you to be happy. I need you to be excited. We doing this. Like, well, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for that your steps are ordered. Like, that's what I need. I need that type of, we walking by faith. Like, we can't see where we going. So, being a visionary is about creating the support that you need. I knew what I needed. I vetted out my therapist. I vetted out my PR. I vetted out these people. I don't just, you got to know that they're right for where you're trying to go, and then not being afraid to let them go when the time comes as well. Like, we hold on to a lot of things because they've been with us so long, but baby, the buck starts here. The train stops here. So when the train stops, they got to get off, and you got to keep pushing, because they'll get off when they were tired of you. So you got to be, it's reciprocated. So it's just controlling you is one of the things that I had to tap in as a visionary, because people will talk you out of what you're empowered to do because they don't know the calling of on your life. So they'll tell you they don't. I tweeted this because I was thinking about prime time and all of the news that's going on with him, and I'm like, I just thank God that I'm not concerned with the uncertainties that people have for my life, that I can literally see what God wants for me and I can roll with that. Like, okay, you don't think that's good for me? Great for you.
And that's a good point, because it's actually going into the next question as far as for how important is it and how important has it been for you on your journey, not anybody else's journey, on Natasha's journey, to believe in your own goals and to believe in your own vision. Like, we talk about the support system and we need them, but how important is it for Natasha to believe in Natasha?
Yeah, I mean, that's a part of the process. Like, again, that's why I'm in therapy, and that's why, it was important for me to go tell people what I need, because we just move around in this life not even knowing where we're going. Like, what we're going to eat today, like, we don't even know those things, right? Whereas for me, I'm very structured. Like, my life is already planned out. You look at my calendar, it's chaotic. Like, it's from 6 to 8 p.m. The hours are clocking. I know what I'm doing, right? So a lot of people don't even know that about me. So it's like when they call me at 2 o'clock and they're like, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, you done made me chaotic at this point. I'm about to shut down. So a lot of people, so just bringing people into my space and, like, allowing them to know, like, this is my plan. This is Tasha's empire. This is how this thing is going to roll. And they are either going to fade themselves out or whatever the case may be. But me believing in me, like, I already know what's the end goal. There's no process to that, because once you're doing what you love, like yesterday my son asked me, he was like, you don't have to work today, you don't have to do marketing, because we've been talking about, you know, what I do. And so I'm like, no, we just chilling today, do you want me to work? He was like, no, it's cool that you don't have to work today. So I'm like, well, great, I'm glad we on the same page. But he knows, like, my work doesn't feel like work, because I'm so, this is my calling, like I'm supposed to be doing this. So I don't have to wake up and convince myself that this is something I'm supposed to do. Like, I get up, I know what I'm doing. Like, it's like, all right, I got to do this. I got to type it in this person. I need to do, like, it just flows because I'm where I'm supposed to be. If it doesn't flow,
it's not for you.
I'm going to just tell you to tap into your God. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm tapped into mine. Like, when I have that sense of uncertainty, I'm like, hey, God, I'm about to do this. Are you riding with me, or, like, we doing something else? You know what I'm saying? That's my relationship with God.
That's what's up. Like, your passion is legit your power.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
I put it on the shirt already. Passion is power. For sure. Absolutely. So you have to do that. And so coming back around to that, how do you overcome the naysayers? Like the maybe, or I'm kind of worried, Tasha, if you do this, like
so
about something different.
Yeah, so like I have that. So I have a podcast as well. It's called Fuck Work, but I'm gonna go. FCK Work, but I'm gonna go. Excitingly enough, we have over 200,000 downloads on our podcast, which it just turned 4 as well this past October. And at first, when I came up with the idea, people were like, "You gonna cuss? Like, so you legit about to roll out something with a cuss word?" My background is, you know, I grew up in the church, and so, you know, I grew up in HR, so everything has been very black and white and like very polished and professional. And, you know, I played the piano for 10 years, so I'm already structured. I'm already, you know, like poised. I have that. I'm innate in that. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna cuss. Like, I'm about to tell people who I really am. Who's Natasha? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be able to talk and like be me for once. And so with that, you know, so many people, like, to this day, it's like, I think it's so wild that you had a podcast like Fuck Work, but I'm gonna go. Like, I was asking him what I do, and he was like, you got a podcast. And I'm like, okay, a podcast? He's like, that's what I said. I said, okay. I said, well, what's the name of it? He was like, you really want me to say what it is? I'm like, you know what it is? He was like, you want me to say what it is? I was like, nah, I don't want you to say it. He was like, all right, yeah, okay. Like, oh, okay, cool. But it's like, you know, I have naysayers all the time, but I don't really engage with that, because again, it's like, I know what I'm supposed to do. Like, when the idea comes to me, I have a shelf. It's a, you know, a mental shelf full of ideas. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, when the time comes for me to tap into that one, time for me to pull that file out of my brain and start giving it the energy it deserves, it's gonna be my time. I don't necessarily have to check in. Some things I check into because, again, I need the validity of others to get more insight on where I'm going with this thing. But the thing is the thing. If I called you about it, I already planned it out. It's happening. Yes. I'm just asking you an opinion about the small part, because I'm missing this part, and I need you on that part, right? So this is tapping into my resources. Like, hey sis, what you think about this? Because I did this. Like, so yeah, I don't have room for naysayers because I'm already in a space that I don't need that. That
girl, I feel like you're preaching to me. I'm over here, I'm really like, yes, come on, give me more, because you are being very, very, very insightful. And someone that's probably watching right now are probably figuring out what they need to tap into, and you are giving them what they need to have right now.
Yeah, I mean, 5 years ago, I wasn't this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was literally needing people to fill me up with the joy I didn't know I had. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, I'm thinking about this idea. You know, I moved to Atlanta and nobody wanted me to move to Atlanta. That was dumb. Like, I had a great job. I was vested. Like, I am, you know, community service awards. I'm doing events. I'm working with the mayor. I'm doing all of these great things. And I'm like, I'm hitting a glass ceiling. There's more for me. So moving to Atlanta with just my vehicle and my clothes, and I'm like, we're going to figure it out from that point on. It was just like, I took the biggest leap of my life. I showed God bigger than a mustard seed. So I've been fine. You know what I'm saying? So like, why question anything else when I always have that reference? Like, you did it then, keep doing it.
Crazy faith.
Yeah. Crazy faith.
So that's actually going into our next question. So what do you tell emerging entrepreneurs? Like, if you had to give them, you know, a gem for today, what will you tell them?
I've been running up the gyms tonight. No.
But this is for the ones, let's say they're afraid to start.
Yeah,
they don't know where to start.
For sure. I mean, the thing is that if it doesn't make you scared, it's not something you should do anyway. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm not sweating or I'm like, ooh, like if I literally don't get the butterflies because I'm like, girl, you know, if you do this, then it's going to call you to do that. The step is ordered at that point, because if you make this move, the next move's already planned out. So for me, I'm like, oh, this it. Oh, this is who I need to call. Because my sister, like my friends will tell you, if I got an idea and it's dope, I already done called 10 people. Like, oh, I'm thinking about doing this. Let's get the photo shoot going. Let's get this going. Hey, do you know somebody that do, you know, like science? You know somebody that's a chemist? Okay, let me get that. Like, I'm already putting, you know, everything in play, because if I'm scared to do it, I need the dream team. Mm-hmm. You gotta, where's your dream team? And again, it's important right now as an emerging, the gym is build your tribe for the future you. Not the today you, but the future you. How do you want to be supported 5 years from now? Like, what are you going to need? So that is going to cause you to get you together. Like, my personal development has been the most important part to where I am today. Like, had I not got the therapist, had I not done the spiritual digging that I needed to do and like get my own connection and my own relationship and like what that looks like and isolate myself, like people haven't seen my networking apparel in a year. People have not heard my podcast in a year. And I'm okay with it. And I'm sitting here, right, like bounce back, like we picking up like we never fell off. Like nothing ever happened, but that was so important for me because I can't grow unless I've grown. So the biggest piece is just personal development. Entrepreneurship is hard. It is hard. It is 24/7. It is 366. It is every day, all day. And it is a sacrifice. Yeah. So, yeah, you're literally going every day. You're going hard for a dream with no foundation. It's scary every day. So, yeah, you're going to be scared every day. I work with millionaires that are scared every day. They have to cut shit every day because they're scared. We're in the middle of a recession. Do you know how many millionaires right now are scared? Wow. Be scared. Tyler Perry just said this. Be comfortably afraid. That's a thought right there. Yeah. And I like to say, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Yeah. Like, girl, yes. Come on, tell me my confirmation for the week. I just said that. Just said that. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because like you said, if it doesn't scare you, then it's probably not for you. No. That, girl, we're about to be here all day, girl. Because you have the gems for real, for real. So what are some things that people should consider when they're planning for a launch and they're trying to get that business going? How should they organize everything out? Sure. So getting as technical as possible when you're trying to start a business is, again, I know we try to skip the business plan phase, right? But I think it's very intricate. You can find Fiverr, Upwork, anybody that can pretty much pick your brain, get the business plan together, and then get your LLC, get your EIN. I mean, you can get all this information on Google and YouTube and all that great stuff. But like the most important part, again, is the foundation of your business. You got to remember about the blueprint. People don't build a house unless they got a blueprint. Mm-hmm. It's not accepted by, you got to have it up to code. You need to have all these things done before you build a house. I watched my house being built, and I took that as spiritually and as theoretically as possible when it comes to my business. I don't have a foundation. I don't have a contractor. You need a general contractor. Like all the people that I needed to make this house being built happen. It's the same way with your business. Like, what's the blueprint for this? How can you want to be a millionaire in 30 days? Make the plan. Yeah. Yeah. So what's next? Really quick. What's next? How people can tap in with you? How can they find you, contact you, reach out to you? all that great stuff. So I am Ideanaire, the word Ideanaire, like millionaire, Ideanaire. You can find me on all social media platforms. But just dive into my contact. You can listen to me on Mondays with our Monday marketing meetup on Fanbase app. Please download the Fanbase app. I am an investor. So please support Black-owned social media, social networks. Also, you can tap into my mommy shenanigans, which will be rolling out next year as well. Also, the podcast is coming back, so follow Footwork, but I'm going to go podcast on all social media platforms. Tap into us on all podcast platforms as well. And my networking apparel. Get you some. You're an entrepreneur. You need the merch. I cannot say enough. You need the merch. Let the merch work for you. Get the marketing assistant. Get the networking knowledge. Your network is your net worth. Grow in your business. Make it happen. Do what it do.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. That was amazing. Thank you.